afternoon. I'm Rafaela Schwan, Vice President for Development, Training, and Strategy at SER Jobs for Progress National. Welcome to the grand opening of the Spectrum Digital Learning Hub in Milwaukee. Later in the program, you will hear from SER's President and CEO, Ignacio Salazar. However, I wanted to highlight that this partnership encompasses all of SER's three pillars: education, employment, and empowerment. Some of the programs under these three pillars are Cisco Academy, STEM education, computer training, affordable housing, entrepreneurship, and many other programs. It's great to see so many of our community leaders joining us for the launch of our brand new computer lab and lending library. This was made possible by our partnership with Charter Communication and Hispanic Federation. Charter Communication gifted us $30,000 through the Spectrum Digital Education Grant Fund, which allows us to continue offering computer classes with a state-of-the-art digital learning hub. This learning hub allows us to continue our educational programming, and the lab will be an invaluable part of our education and workforce development programs. The lab will help our community reach their highest potential. During this event, you will hear from our nonprofit leaders, our sponsor Charter Communications, and elected officials. We will have time to answer questions you may have throughout the event. Please feel free to write your questions and comments on the chat section, and we will address them during the Q&A session towards the end of the program. And now I'd like to introduce you to our first speaker this afternoon, Frankie Miranda. Frankie Miranda is the President and CEO of Hispanic Federation, the nation's premier nonprofit membership organization. Hispanic Federation is committed to serving the Latino community in the United States and Puerto Rico. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, Hispanic Federation has maintained its support to the Latino families and nonprofit organizations helping our community through the recovery. As it relates to workforce development, Hispanic Federation has developed a national coalition of training partners to provide Latino families with vital resources for securing employment and critical educational tools.
Gracias, Rafaela. It is an honor to join all of you today, and I hope everyone tuning in is doing well and staying safe. We at the Hispanic Federation are very thankful to our friends, Charter Communications and Spectrum, for their continued support in opening a new digital learning hub at our partner agency, SER Jobs for Progress Milwaukee. This is one of several labs that we have opened in collaboration with Charter Spectrum to better serve Latino communities around the country. Low-wage, part-time women and workers of color have been the most affected by unemployment due to the pandemic. This also happens to be the same groups that often lack digital skills. According to the National Skills Coalition, Latino workers represent 14% of overall workers, but represent 35% of workers with no digital skills and 20% of those with limited skills. That means that more than a half of Latino workers need vital digital skills. The past 12 months have been tough for all of us, but especially our communities of color who were already at a disadvantage when it comes to crossing the digital divide. And partnerships with community-based organizations like SER and resources like this digital learning hub are more important than ever to ensure success not only in education and work, but also to provide access to critical information that will keep communities healthy and safe. I want to thank Congressman Brian Stile and Wisconsin State Representative SILVIA ORTIZ-VELEZ for participating in this virtual opening. They understand the importance Latino nonprofits play in creating and executing educational programs like digital literacy classes, resume building workshops, and workforce development training. Lastly, I want to thank Ignacio Salazar and his team at SER for their work in response to the COVID-19 pandemic and their commitment to the Latino community in Milwaukee. We're so proud to partner with SER Jobs for Progress, and I cannot wait to see the amazing work to come from this digital learning hub. Thanks to our friends at Charter Communications and Spectrum. And to Rafaela, Thank you for all the work that you do, managing the training and strategy work at SER, and for your dedication to the Latino community in Milwaukee. Muchas gracias. Thank you.
Thank you, Frankie, for your remarks and dedication to empowering our Latino community. I'd now like to introduce you to Ignacio Salazar, SER Jobs for Progress President and CEO. Ignacio Salazar has dedicated his life to education and workforce development. Since launching his career with SER, Ignacio has become one of the country's most notable leaders in the private and nonprofit sector. His valuable contributions to the Hispanic community and his tireless efforts in workforce investment have been recognized by organizations from coast to coast.
Good afternoon. My name is Ignacio Salazar. I am the President and CEO of SER Jobs for Progress National. And on behalf of SER National, I want to thank Charter Communications and the Hispanic Federation for their grant to further our mission in the Milwaukee area. This grant allows SER to develop a learning lab, servicing more community residents through workforce development and educational opportunities. Founded in 1964, SER National exists to enable the Hispanic community and other underserved populations to fully participate in the socio-economic mainstream in order to achieve equal access and parity in all aspects of American society. Our network of affiliates serves more than 1 million individuals annually in over 24 states out of 200 locations, Milwaukee being one of them. All of our work stems from the goal of elevating our nation's greatest resource, people, to reach their full potential. As President and CEO of SER National, I am grateful for partnerships like Charter Communications and the Hispanic Federation, which allow us to continue our vital work in Milwaukee and communities like it all over the country. This grant will help us continue to make strides towards a more diverse, equitable, and inclusive society. From infants to seniors, SER's programs work to ensure that all people are set up for success throughout their entire life. For our nation's older workers, SER CSEP retrains and places senior workers into nonprofit and governmental agencies so participants can update their skills and secure employment. Giving senior citizens a chance to learn a new skill and continue working not only positively impacts our society, but also gives them a sense of purpose and a way to support themselves. At SER, we believe education is the cornerstone of our society, and we are proud that our partners, Charter Communications and the Hispanic Federation, has joined us in these efforts. Without education, we simply cannot grow and progress as people, as a nation. Innovation and growth are vital to a functioning, thriving society. With all the change and hardship we have experienced in the last year, grants such as this mean even more. So again, on behalf of SER Jobs for Progress National, thank you for your investment.
Thank you, Ignacio, for your remarks and all that you do for our community. So next we will hear from our sponsor at Charter Communications, who made this digital learning hub possible with a generous grant. With this grant, Charter is showing their dedication to strengthening the community, building bridges, and advocating for equality and inclusion. Our first Charter guest speaker is Karrin Smoley, Senior Director of Community Impact at Charter Communication. Karrin has more than 50 years of professional experience as a nonprofit and corporate social responsibility leader. She currently oversees Spectrum's digital education program that is funding this digital hub. Karrin, this is impressive. We would love to hear your comments and maybe perhaps a little bit about the Learning Hub itself.
Great, thank you so much for having me. Good afternoon. I'm Karrin Smoley, Senior Director of Community Impact at Charter. You may know us by our brand name Spectrum, in which we offer advanced broadband products and services. I'm coming to you live from our headquarters in Connecticut, and I'm thrilled to be a part of today's celebration. I manage Spectrum Digital Education on behalf of the company, and we're honored to partner with the Hispanic Federation. Now more than ever, the Hispanic Federation is meeting a critical need in the Wisconsin community. Launched in 2017, Spectrum Digital Education's $6 million commitment supports organizations like Hispanic Federation to meet the needs of those left behind in the digital age. We partner with organizations that provide our communities with digital education classes, devices, and access to technology labs. Charter has supported dozens of organizations through these grants, and we're thrilled to provide a financial support of $30,000 this year for their Spectrum Learning Hub. We've had a great partnership with Hispanic Federation over the years, and this is just a testament to the great work that they're doing in the community, especially in Wisconsin. Charter has also supported the community through Spectrum Housing Assist, Spectrum Employee Community Grants, and Spectrum Scholars. Last year, Spectrum Housing Assist reached its goal of improving 50,000 homes by making homes safer and healthier. So we're thrilled that we were able to meet that commitment we made. We also support our communities through Spectrum Employee Community Grants, which provides financial support to critical social service organizations that our employees are personally committed to. And finally, last year, we launched Spectrum Scholars, awarding $400,000 in scholarships to 20 students over the next 2 years. We're so thankful to all of our partners across all of our programs for their efforts in building stronger communities. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Karrin, for your commitment to digital education. Next from Charter is Gary Underwood, Vice President of Government Affairs for Charter Communications. Gary is responsible for state and local relations for the Midwest, including Wisconsin.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight to recognize the Hispanic Federation and SARE Jobs for Progress. Again, my name is Gary Underwood. I'm Group Vice President of Government Affairs with Charter Communications, or as you may know us locally, Spectrum. We are excited to be here today to celebrate the Hispanic Federation, which is the recipient of Charter's Spectrum Digital Education Grant, and to recognize their partnership with SARE for Progress in Milwaukee. Wisconsin is a very important state to Charter. We serve nearly 1.4 million customers with Spectrum TV, internet, mobile, and voice. And in addition to all of those services, we were proud to launch back in 2019 Spectrum News One for our customers here. Charter also employs more than 3,800 Wisconsin residents with a large employee presence right here in Milwaukee. At Charter, we're committed to continually investing in, expanding, and improving our network throughout our 41-state footprint. This includes expanding our broadband network to more unserved communities and helping move businesses forward with our industry-leading telecommunication services. Not only are we committed to investing in our network and services, we are committed to investing in the communities that we serve. This includes efforts to bridge the gap in digital literacy by supporting organizations through our Spectrum Digital Education Grants. And that's why we're here tonight, to recognize the Hispanic Federation as one of those recipients. The Hispanic Federation will be using their grant funding to support their Spectrum Learning Hub that'll be housed at Milwaukee's SARE Jobs for Progress. This learning center will provide digital education opportunities and resources to help low-income seniors and families participate in distance learning, in addition to a range of other services. The fact that we're gathered here today virtually is a clear reminder of the necessity, value, and power of internet connectivity. Our reliance on access to devices, digital education, and connectivity has never been more important as it has been over the past year. The funding awarded to the Hispanic Federation through the Spectrum Digital Education Grant will not only help Latino seniors and families in the Milwaukee area gain digital literacy skills, but it will help them stay connected to family, friends, and social services that they need, particularly right now. Charter continues to remain dedicated to exceeding the expectations of diverse customers we serve and the products and services we offer. Spectrum is proud to showcase diverse voices and perspectives in our programming and to serve 20 of the top 25 Hispanic television markets. We offer 75 Spanish language channels covering news, live sports, education, and entertainment. Through Spectrum News and our public affairs program In Focus, we regularly feature local figures and experts discussing issues that are important to diverse communities in Milwaukee and across the state. We congratulate the Hispanic Federation as a recipient of a Spectrum Digital Education Grant and to recognize SARE Jobs for Progress for their partnership to improve the lives of people in the Milwaukee area. Before we hear from our special guest, I want to thank you all for being here today. On behalf of Charter Communications, we look forward to partnering with organizations like the Hispanic Federation and to help bridge the digital divide during this challenging time and beyond. Now, joining us to recognize the Hispanic Federation and their work in the community is State Assembly Member SILVIA ORTIZ-VELEZ Representative ORTIZ-VELEZ was recently sworn in as a new member of Wisconsin's State Assembly, and she represents the 8th District. Please help me welcome State Representative SILVIA ORTIZ-VELEZ.
Thank you, Gary. Hello, I'm State Representative SILVIA ORTIZ-VELEZ, and I want to thank the Hispanic Federation, SER Jobs for Progress, and Spectrum for bringing us together today. I especially want to thank the Hispanic Federation and SER Jobs for Progress for all that you do every day for our children, families, and the community. And congratulations to the Hispanic Federation on receiving a $30,000 Spectrum Digital Education Grant. Your partnership with SER Jobs for Progress and the use of the grant will truly help make a difference in Milwaukee. I am grateful for the opportunity to join you today as we celebrate this grant that will help to start the new Learning Lab and Lending Hub, providing much needed resources to the community and truly making a difference. So congratulations once again, and thank you.
Thank you, Gary, for your remarks and work with our local representatives. Thank you, Representative ORTIZ-VELEZ, for joining us today and your continued support. We'd now like to introduce United States Congressman Brent Stile, who will share some remarks about the importance of digital learning programs.
Congratulations to SER National, the Hispanic Federation, and Spectrum on this exciting new opportunity for workers in Southeast Wisconsin. Tonight is a celebration of SER's successes in our community and an investment right here in Milwaukee County. Hi, I'm Congressman Brent Stile, and I'm glad to join you tonight. Through local partnerships, SER will develop a computer learning lab, expand its services to our Hispanic community, and give workers the skills to obtain employment and meet current job demands. As I travel across Southeast Wisconsin, job creators tell me time and again, there are open jobs needed to be filled. They just need the right workers to fill them. Preparing our workforce for the jobs of the future is critical to support families and our communities. The new West Allis Computer Learning Lab will help seniors, our Hispanic community, and some of our most vulnerable gain digital skills for the 21st century. This is great news for Southeast Wisconsin. As we work to defeat coronavirus, get workers back to work, investing in our community and growing family jobs is critical. In Congress, I chair the Future of Work Caucus. I work with my colleagues to ensure Wisconsin workers can benefit from current and future job needs and set them up for a lifetime of success. Investments like the new Learning Lab play a vital role in helping workers succeed. I'll continue looking to you for your insights and ideas as we tackle issues impacting our community and workforce. I'm looking forward to seeing the success of this venture, and thank you to all the people who made this possible. Again, I want to extend my congratulations and thanks to SERS, the Hispanic Federation, and Spectrum. I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great night.
Thank you so much, Congressman Stile, for that message and your commitment to digital education programs. Now that we've heard from our sponsors and elected officials, I'd like to switch gears and learn more from what potential students are hoping to gain by taking our digital education courses. We spoke with a few students who have signed up for the classes, and they will share their thoughts and goals of what they want to accomplish by taking these classes.
Bueno, muy importante para los miembros de SER Job y para el beneficio tanto individual como general, el poder tener en la actualidad computadoras de última generación para que podamos trabajar en los diferentes lenguajes del computador. Vamos a recibir entrenamiento para poderlo hacer bien y responder a los objetivos de SER Job. Y manejando todos los diferentes lenguajes del computador, el correo electrónico y todo lo que contenga tecnología de actualidad, vamos a cumplir un excelente trabajo en cualquier empresa que nos requiera. En este país tenemos la ventaja que si las personas quieren seguir activas, pueden ser activas hasta los 80, 85 años, la edad no cuenta. Por eso me gusta mucho este programa, porque da la opción a las personas de ser útiles a sí mismas y útiles a este país, que nos ha dado la oportunidad de estar aquí y cumplir con las metas propuestas.
It would help me a whole lot because I could organize more better, and I can keep up with the technology on the computer, you know, as far as going online and reacting with people, you know, job searching and stuff like that. So it would help me personally a whole lot because I'm just familiar with the basics of the computer. Everything is basically going to the computer and stuff. And a lot of people I know are just shut out from that world completely. They don't even, first of all, they don't have a computer. So they don't even try to, you know, get that knowledge to how to do a computer. So, you know, like it would help the community more. It would keep them more informed because like they have another information outlet.
Thank you, Claudia Palacios and Mark Buggs, for sharing your comments with us. We are very much looking forward to working with you and everyone that is signing up for our classes. And I would like to have our panelists join us. So with that, I would like to have you stay with us, Karrin. And up next, I would like to bring Brent Wilkes, Senior Vice President for Institutional Development at Hispanic Federation. Brent and Hispanic Federation played a pivotal role in developing of this Spectrum Digital Learning Hub. The Hispanic Federation continues to prove their commitment to the Latino issues and finding effective solutions for them. And I know, Brent, you're very committed to that. You know, we were talking a little bit earlier and said, you know, why is it that you have felt the need to help our Latino community? So we thank you and we appreciate that very much. Also on our panel will be my colleague, Raul Santa, Director of Network Relations at SER Jobs for Progress. Raul will be able to provide information on SER's digital education efforts and the successes. Welcome, everybody. And why don't we start with you, Karrin?
Great, thank you so much. Raul, on the topic of the new Spectrum Digital Hub, can you let us know what type of classes will be offered via the hub in Milwaukee?
Yeah, great question. Thank you, Karrin. Well, we're going to have a gamut of courses, and we're going to divide them into levels. We know that we're going to have folks that do not even know how to turn on a computer, but we also know that we have students that will have intermediate, but they just want to advance in their knowledge. So we will have software for Microsoft Word, for Excel. We're going to do also resume writing. We're going to help people get into connecting with employers, doing job searches. There's going to be a whole gamut of courses that we're going to have available for the community.
Oh, that's terrific. And so how many students do you anticipate that you'll serve, and who can sign up for those classes?
Okay. Currently, we have close to 200 participants in our programs in the Milwaukee area, and that is just in Milwaukee County, and we have 5 other counties near Milwaukee in which we can pull students from. We also have technology that we will be able to do long-distance learning as well. But yes, we're going to have beyond those participants of the programs, we're going to help also open it to the community. Those that want to take advantage of the computer lab, they will just make an appointment as we have a limited seating.
Thank you, Raul. Brent, we have a question for you. Why is digital education important for the Hispanic community?
Well, digital education is extremely important right now. The pandemic has caused a lot of Latino families and Latinos to lose their workplace opportunity. And you know, as difficult as this is to say, many of those jobs are not going to be coming back in the same way they were before. We've seen a transition away from jobs that don't require tech skills to jobs that do require tech skills, and that trend is really accelerated this year. So it's extremely important for Latinos who are looking for employment opportunities, whether they've already got a job and want to move up, or whether they've are currently looking for work, to make sure that they've got the digital skilling, technology-based skills that they'll need to be able to compete in the workplace and find a good job. So the great thing about this program, Sarah has had you know, many years of experience in helping folks find workplace opportunities, and coupled with this digital learning hub, they'll be able to provide those top-level digital skills that are so in demand by the employers of today, and help folks get that opportunity to get back to work right away. So that's why we think it's absolutely critical. Even if you aren't in a kind of digital career right now, it's important to realize that almost every vocation is starting to require some type of tech literacy or digital skills. And so we think it's really important for folks to take these courses and get those skill sets. And of course, it helps to have that on your resume as well. So we encourage everybody to take advantage of this opportunity.
Yeah, thank you, Brent. Karrin, I know that I'm going to ask you something. Hopefully I don't put you on the spot, but you know, this is very important for our community that are looking for work, that are learning technology, that haven't had an opportunity to do so when they were younger. However, we hear more and more there are students that are in elementary, middle and in high school, and even in college, have not had access to the internet as the same level as others. And so we have had an opportunity to work with a couple of presidents at community colleges that said they opened their parking lot so the students could come and have access to the internet. Knowing that you are a great provider of the internet and have been a tremendous help for our community and a supporter of us, why is it so important for Charter Spectrum to be so involved in the community?
Absolutely. It's a great question. I mean, it's the core of our business. And I think sometimes people think like, oh, that's the cable company and they're kind of separate. But you have to remember that we are in the community. We operate in 41 states. We have over 95,000 employees. So we are right there in every community. And so it's important where not only our customers and our employees work and live, that we're giving back to those same communities, because we're embedded right there in the community. So it's all very important to us.
Getting into really good information and discussion with the guest panelists that we have. So why don't we keep that up? And Raul, I have a question for you. For those individuals that are interested in signing up for classes, how do they do that?
Yes, they can go to our website, and there's on www.ser-national.org. And the section that have contact us, there they can put their information and we will be reaching out to them. If they're not in the Milwaukee area, we will make an arrangement to have a connection to them and do it virtually.
Okay, thank you for that. Now I have a couple more questions. One is, will these classes also be available in Spanish? And then most important, for those individuals that don't have a computer, can they also take the class regardless?
Yes, we will make every effort to have all the courses in Spanish. And good thing to know is that our instructor is bilingual. And so that one is the first step, and she's bilingual. And now it's a matter of getting the curriculum also available for all those courses. But for most of them, we already have the curriculum in Spanish as well.
I think another great thing at this particular lab that we're doing, we're providing a laptop lending library. So we have laptops available for the participants that don't have computers at home, so that they can take the coursework safely at home. We do have the distance learning capability. And so that's going to be really exciting. It's the first one we've done, actually. So we thank Sarah for partnering with us to introduce this, and of course to Charter and Spectrum for making this possible. But we know that times are challenging. It's tough to come into an office space and take a class. And so this provides another way for folks to be able to get the instruction without necessarily having to come in person.
Yeah, Karrin and Brent, so you got a little ahead of me because I was going to ask you both that. You know, I thought something that's very innovative in what you guys are doing in this learning hub is the fact that not only do they have the computers in the classroom, but you guys provided laptops so the people that are taking the classes can take them home and continue to practice. Because as we know, so many times if they take the class, they go home, they often forget, and they come the next day to class and they're like, or a week later, and I'm like, what did I learn? So why were you so innovative, or why are you so innovative in thinking of programs or opportunities for our community in this fashion?
And I'll let you take that. It was you guys and the great partnership we have with you. So you can go ahead and take that.
Brent?
Sure.
Would you like to answer that?
It was your idea, Rafaela, but I should say that I wholeheartedly agreed with you. I think that the pandemic in particular has created these really difficult challenges for our community, and the laptop lending library was a great idea to be able to make the devices available for folks to take home. I should mention, in addition to that, the Charter Spectrum has a program, a low-cost broadband program for folks to sign up, and it's really inexpensive. It's basically $15 per month, and you can have a broadband connection in your home. And so now broadband is more affordable than ever. The name of it's called Spectrum Internet Assist, and we would encourage you to take advantage of that in conjunction with the laptop lending library. So that way you have both the internet connectivity and the laptop, and you'll be able to use the laptop not just for taking the classes, but also for if your child is doing remote learning or distance learning with their school, if they're needing to do their homework. Of course, everybody has to do their homework. And then on top of that, if your workplace opportunity permits you to do some work from home, or if you're looking for work, you can also access job boards and different places where there's help wanted posts, and be able to respond to those right from the comfort of your home without necessarily having to come into the lab. The lab is still there. We want to make sure you know that. But during the pandemic, we understand that people don't want to come in, or not everyone wants to come in and take the classes in person. And so this really creates the opportunity for folks to get those skills, but also to do other things that help improve the quality of life for their family, including telemedicine. If you need to schedule an appointment with your doctor, you can do that online now. So these are great programs. We certainly encourage you to take advantage of those.
Thank you, Brent. Raul, I know that again, Sarah is looking at how do we make it for those people that are interested in taking the class, that can get a laptop and can go home, but yet they don't have internet at home. What are you doing? And Brent mentioned the partnership with Spectrum that you can do. What is it that Sarah is doing to facilitate this for our participant?
Yes, the participant will reach out to our Milwaukee office where we have the equipment, and those are participants of the program, the close to 200 that we mentioned earlier. They will get the device, and if they don't have access to connectivity, we will look for the resources and connect them with Spectrum, and work with them to make this happen for them to continue learning and improving their skills.
Thank you for that. So again, we were talking about some of the things that the younger students can do. Are you providing any classes for them with using the computer lab? And I would like to maybe get ahead a little bit, so I hope I don't get in trouble, but I think we're bringing the same learning hub to Fort Worth in the near future.
Yes, that is correct. This partnership has been great. We have not only Milwaukee, but Fort Worth is coming in the future, and hopefully other locations, as we have programs in 24 states, and we would love to expand to those other locations as well. To the younger generation and others, they don't have to be a younger generation, but we also have Networking Academy with Cisco, and they will be able to study to get a career in networking. If that's something that they want to go in the information technology, the IT route, and networking and cabling and all the stuff, they will be able to study. We have an instructor that is certified by Cisco, and we have 4 academies sign up: Fresno, Santa Fe, Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and also in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Thank you. Thank you for that. So we mentioned participants. So you would venture to say that these people that are already on some type of SARE program, but will the general public, will somebody that's not in one of our programs already, can they enroll to come and take these classes?
Yes, and space availability, yes, they will. The lab, and now with social distancing, we have to follow the dictates from the state of Wisconsin about social distancing. And yes, if we can accommodate 4, 5, 10 people, we have 15 computers ready, then we will. In-person classes.
That's great. What I would like to ask, because Brent, those of us that work with you or the Hispanic Federation know a little bit more about the Hispanic Federation, but maybe you can share with those of us joining us in our audience, what is it all that the Hispanic Federation does besides partnering with us on this great opportunity?
Well, the Hispanic Federation, actually partnerships is one of the biggest things that we do. We are a federation of Latino nonprofit organizations. Our members are local nonprofits, much like SARE, Jobs for Progress, and organizations similar across the country. We work closely with them to provide technical assistance and support to help them really do what they're doing already, but to do it with additional resources and skill sets. And then we work closely on programs like this, where we create an initiative, we invite our partners to join us, and then help them with resources, with training, with curriculum, and with support from the coalition. So I should mention that SARE is part of a 25 center network working on digital skilling with us, and we are really grateful for that. But a lot of the good ideas are coming from the individual organizations, just like SARE is doing. And so this is really, I think, our sweet spot, where we try to work closely with Latino community-based organizations and really help them, and they help us, and they help the network to do what we're already doing, but to do it better through technical assistance and capacity building and support. Another example of something completely different than technology is our COVID relief effort. The Federation's given out close to $15 million over the past year to help communities overcome the COVID-19 crisis. And we are working very hard to even surpass that giving this year, so that we're able to help community-based organizations really respond to the need of the moment. And our latest effort is our VITA campaign. We're working with community-based Latino health clinics to actually provide the vaccine directly to the community, because we know that so many folks are struggling to be able to get a vaccination. You know, we often respond to the needs of the moment. We've actually been involved in hurricane relief in Puerto Rico and other types of disaster relief. But if you look at the quality of life issues such as education, economic empowerment, financial literacy, health, civil rights, and civic engagement, these are really the areas where Hispanic Federation partners with its member agencies and helps them to really deliver needed services to the community. So we're 30 years old. We're very excited that we've had such great success over the past 30 years, but we're really looking forward to continuing to build our partners and to help our community-based organization members have a bigger impact on the Latino community across the country.
Thank you, Brent. I will ask one more question from Raul, because I think it's critical, and then we will go back to part 2 of our program. Raul, how soon will the classes start?
We will be ready to start next week with a limited, again, with COVID in person. and we will do long distance training.
Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. We are really excited about the announcement of this fantastic digital learning hub, and we're so thankful to Charter, Spectrum, and their support for this event, and to our great partners at SARE Jobs for Progress. As you've heard, folks are really excited about the opportunity, and please come down and participate in the training. We think it's going to be really exceptional for the community. And Rafaela, do you want to wrap it up for us?
Yeah, thank you once again, Brent, and our participants, Claudia and Brent for and Mark for providing comments. We are really looking forward to having this opportunity for our participants taking the classes, so we can't wait to work with you all. Wanted to also share that if you're interested in signing up for these classes, please contact our Milwaukee office or our SARE National office at sare-national.org. Again, thank you, Brent, Raul, and Karrin for participating and joining me in this wonderful event. We're really excited about this opportunity that's going to bring our community to the 21st century in the workforce. And so we're looking forward for them having this great opportunity. Thank you so much. Muchísimas gracias.